podium hapa. Hizi flags. Sukuma flags nyuma kabisa. Okay. Unajua atazusha lakini ndio rahisi. You'll be happy about it. Some keep it in the shadows, keep it. What I'm doing to say flag ifanye. Tusongeshe flag yenyewe. Beams. Kila hiyo kitu isiende na upepo. Kila nyuma. Na ingine.
To invite His Excellency William Ruto, His Excellency Speaker Justin Muturi to be on their feet and to be joined by His Excellency Wetangula, the party leaders of ANC and Ford Kenya respectively, and also the Secretary General of the Democratic Party and the patron of the Democratic Party, the Honorable Joseph Munyao, the Honorable Kioni, Esau Kioni. So they will display, each team has 2 copies of the agreement. They will display it and then exchange the documents. Very well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to request Excellency William Ruto, Speaker Muturi, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Honorable Wetangula to remain behind. Patron is a witness for all of us. Thank you. Asante. We will now have the remarks in the order in which I explained. Karibu, Your Excellency William Ruto, Party Leader UDA, Presidential Candidate Kenya Kwanza. Karibu.
Sana. I think we can take our seats so that we can speak in terms. Yeah. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Does anybody have a problem with my cape? I'm told that the media people want me to remove my cape. Lakini mnajua atupangwingwi. Mbona mnataka kutupanga? Now, ladies and gentlemen, as has been said earlier by Professor Kithure Kindiki, this is a very monumental day. This is a very important occasion. It's a culmination of months of intense consultations between our team and the Democratic Party team, leading to our signing today of a coalition agreement between our Kenya Kwanza team and the Democratic Party. I am a very proud Kenyan today that we are joined by the Democratic Party, a party that has history in the Republic of Kenya. The Democratic Party was started and led by Kenya's finest economist, the Honorable Mwai Kibaki, who this country remembers with a lot of nostalgia for his contribution in the leadership, the governance, and the advancement of the Republic of Kenya. His contribution from the time the Democratic Party was formed to present. It is with special reference to our third president, President Mwai Kibaki, whose forte has always been the economy. And it is instructive that this election is actually going to be a conversation about the economy. And that's why the joining of the Democratic Party to the Kenya Kwanza alliance is significant, that they bring on board the economic conversation that was always led by President Mwai Kibaki. And therefore, we are very proud this morning that we are enlarging this team and making the winning of the next general election a reality and as close as possible to being what it should be. Let me say, as a person who has also worked with Justin Muturi, that it's a pleasure, my brother Justin Muturi, that you lead a team, and we have a history together. We have worked many years on the same side of the political equation. This would have probably been the only time we would be on different sides of the equation, but again, fate has had it that we will again be on the same side of the political equation. So again, I am very happy that we are meeting here this morning. We believe as Kenya Kwanza, joined by the Democratic Party this morning, that the most potent conversation in Kenya is the conversation around the economy, the conversation about ordinary people, the conversation about the businesses of ordinary people, the conversation about our agriculture, the conversation around our businesses, our SMEs, the conversation around universal health coverage. And that is what brings the Democratic Party and the Kenya Kwanza fraternity together. The conversation about the people of Kenya. There is another conversation out there about the changing the constitution and everything that goes with it, and sharing power and sharing positions. We dare say the people of Kenya have spoken, and they have spoken very clearly, that this time round, this particular general election is not going to be about leaders and changing the constitution. It is going to be about the team that has the plan and has the template on how to change our economy, create jobs for ordinary people, create opportunities for our SMEs and the people in the business space, creating an environment for our farmers to thrive, and creating an environment for every Kenyan to be their best. And we dare say that the people of Kenya has made that conversation very, very clearly. And as we converge here this morning, we are persuaded that we are on the right side of history. And this election is going to be determined by the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya have resisted blackmail. The people of Kenya have stood against threats. They have refused everything that goes with the tyranny of a few people. The people of Kenya have consciously refused that a few people can sit in a corner and decide for 40 or 50 million Kenyans. And that is why the people of Kenya are saying resoundingly that hatupangwingwi. The people of Kenya have refused blackmail, they have refused intimidation, they have refused threats, and they want to determine their own destiny. And that's what we are doing this morning. We are building the blocks that will give every Kenyan a chance. And we dare say that wale wanafikiria ya kwamba watatupanga, ati wanafikiria ya kwamba watatumia vitisho na watatumia deep state, ati na ingine inaitwa system, na ati watapanga wa Kenya. Tunataka kuwaambia mutajua hamujui. Hamuwezi kutupanga na hamuwezi kutulazimisha na hamuwezi kutununua. And we are this time round going to shame the deep state and the dark forces. The people of Kenya have spoken resoundingly that they want to be masters of their own future. And so we want to say it loudly and clearly to our competitors that please try and cobble together a plan and an agenda to sell to the people of Kenya. Stop wasting your time trying to re-engineer our literature. I think it is an exercise in futility to try and tell us which Kiswahili words we should use and which English words we should use. We are decent people. We are intelligent people. We are knowledgeable people. We know what we are saying. And therefore, instead of these people wasting their time fighting with literature, they should actually get an opportunity to fashion or couple together a plan and an agenda to sell to the people of Kenya. The people of Kenya know what to do. They know how to speak. And they will speak at the ballot. So let us not engage institutions of government in a circus that will not help anybody. I want to conclude my remarks by saying we are very proud this morning that we are joined by the Democratic Party, a party that has a long history and a party that has history about the economy of our republic, and a party that is associated with our third president, the finest economist we ever had in Kenya, the Honorable Mwai Kibaki. So with those remarks, let me request my brother, Justin Bidan Muturi, the Njoka, oh yeah, I forgot. Justin Bidan Njoka Muturi, our Speaker of the National Assembly and the party leader of Democratic Party. Karibu sana, my brother.
Thank you. Asante sana, His Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, other party leaders, His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, my good brother, I don't want to say a lot more beyond that, the party leader of Front Kenya, the Honorable Moses Masika Wetangula, the patron of the Democratic Party, the Honorable Joseph Munyao, the chairman, the SG, members of Parliament and officials of all the constituent parties. Let me begin by acknowledging that indeed today is a momentous occasion that we assembled here this morning to witness the signing of the coalition agreement between the Democratic Party of Kenya and the Kenya Kwanza Alliance with all the constituent parties and party leaders. I'm a proud Kenyan that we have come this far. Those of you that may have heard my comments on the day that the Democratic Party had its National Delegates Convention would recall that I did promise that as instructed by the party NDC, that I will consult with all people of goodwill and like-minded parties and party leaders to see to it that the agenda that we have at the Democratic Party, which indeed is the agenda that all of us aspire to, of seeing our country move forward, is attained in an environment that is free and fair. Kwa hivyo, mimi siku ya leo niko na furaha kwamba my party has given me that backing. And indeed to say to my brothers in the UDA, the ANC, and Ford Kenya, and others, like I heard one of my colleagues, my good friend, Professor Kidiki, indicates, who believe in this conversation of that we cannot be if the others aren't. There cannot be a Kenya for others and another one for us. We all belong. and that Kenya is bigger than all of us. It is therefore not going to be possible for people to divide us. And I'm happy that after several conversations in this effort of coming together, that today we have realized that dream of working together to build a better Kenya for our children and our children's children. Nobody should deceive themselves that by whatever machinations, whatever designs, they are going to coerce and intimidate Kenyans from the path of self-actualization, which I dare say will be realized on the 9th of August this year. And I have gone round. I've traveled to a number of places in this country, and I can confirm that the heartbeat of many Kenyans is within the aspirations that are espoused within this coalition. Therefore, we in the Democratic Party are quite happy to fully and unconditionally associate with the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Indeed, for me, as I'm sure many of you would reflect back sometimes in last year, would recall my huge billboard around Muthaiga with this inscription, Kenya Kwanza. And therefore, that just shows that we were all along, we were of the same mind. My brothers took the more secret route of registering Kenya Kwanza. I took the route of announcing to Kenyans, but I see all is well that ends well. We are all Kenya Kwanza. We believe in that. I therefore want to thank Kenyans who have supported us in this journey, and wish to say, we all know that this country, the constitution of this country says Kenya shall be a democratic, multi-party state. We are not going to interfere with others in the exercise of their freedom to move around and sell their agenda, even whatever it may be. But we will be focused on the agenda that brings us together, which is why we have been able to come together that much easily. We do know and we sympathize with some of our colleagues who will say, I'm sure Kenyans are aware of this. You have seen outfits being formed very, very quickly and being rerolled into some funny arrangements. And we are already seeing some element of political constipation happening in those places where they have been taken to. We just wish them well if they feel that they are not comfortable there, because we know some of them, they are not comfortable. I went to plead with my brothers that please, those that may find themselves being ejected from those places, let us still remain, keep some little space for them, because they mean well for the rest of the Kenyans. They can leave the others to do their own things, but we are committed to this journey. Na ni lazima, ukizungumza Kiswahili, Kizungu, mwishowe tutapiga kura. Na lazima hizo kura lazima tutazilinda. Liwalo linadiwe. Our agents, you cannot call agents, you are political agents. I can see a few candidates who are here. you will have agents, Mheshimiwa Gachagua. When you talk to them, when they go to the polling station, lazima walinde ile kura zako, lazima walinde. La sivyo zinaweza porwa. Kwa hivyo wale ambao wanafikiri hata lugha pia inaanza kuwa shinda, tafadhali, you ain't seen nothing yet. Tutaendelea vivyo hivyo. So thank you very much, and Your Excellency the Deputy President, nashukuru. Hata mimi sipangingwi. Hiyo nilikataa. Wale walikuwa nafikiri ati wanaweza kupanga mimi. Poleni. Hii miaka yangu haikubali mimi nipangwe na mtu yeyote. Sipangwingwi. Oh. Kabisa. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Asante sana, Justin. So, as way of progressing this, this, so that we make the other speeches brief, I also want to thank you, Justin, that apart from the history I have with you working together, you have also come. I didn't know my professor at Nairobi University, Professor Nganya, Kanya, who is there, was a member of the Democratic Party. But I am very proud of Professor Kanya. He was my supervisor when I did my PhD at Nairobi University, and I am very proud that he is in my midst. I know some of my competitors have a problem identifying their professors, but I certainly don't suffer that kind of challenge. So thank you. Professor, wacha professor aonekane hapa. Huyu ndio jamaa. Asante sana. Thank you, Prof. Asante. Thank you very much. Asante sana. So let me take this opportunity to request my good brother, the party leader of ANC, my good brother, the Honorable Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi, to come and make some remarks. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Your Excellency Deputy President, our good friend, Ndugu Justin Muturi, Speaker of the National Assembly, the leadership of the Democratic Party who are here, Mzee Munyao, Esau, and all others, the Secretary General, Yakub, and my colleagues in Kenya Kwanza. First, I just want to express two things. The first one is to say karibu ndugu kwa Kenya Kwanza Alliance. Tunatoa shukrani. We are happy that a party with such a history, led by good people, experienced public officers in this country, have voluntarily chosen to be part and parcel of the Kenya Kwanza Alliance. This is a historic day. And ladies and gentlemen, when we said there would be an earthquake, surely this is another earthquake. Because if we just sit back to actually internalize the import of this session to the people of Kenya. Not too long ago, the judiciary of Kenya sent a very strong message, first through the High Court, then through the Court of Appeal, and more recently through the Supreme Court of Kenya, that they stand to make sure that the independence of institutions and the right of the people of Kenya shall not be trampled upon by the executive now or even in future. That was a very, very solid statement. Today, Kenyans should actually internalize that the head of the legislative arm of government is also sending a very clear message to the Kenyan people. Because this is the head of the Democratic Party, but please don't forget that he's the Speaker of an arm of government recognized in the Constitution. He is also sending a very clear message to the people of Kenya that democracy cannot be undermined and should not be undermined. So we salute you, and we salute you yet again. Finally, today is supposed to be a deadline for political parties to submit documentation to the Registrar of Political Parties. And that is if you are putting in your papers as a coalition party. Because the recent amendments to the Political Parties Act introduced the component of a coalition political party. I want to make it clear that the Kenya Kwanza Alliance will not be submitting anything today so that there is no conflict or confusion. We are going in as a coalition of parties and not a coalition party. That distinction is so important. Please, the media, help us. Help us to disseminate this information to the public across our boundaries, that we as Kenya Kwanza are going in as a coalition of parties. And that is to underpin exactly what the Speaker has said, that we anticipate and we are going to work with other parties. We in Kenya Kwanza want to work with other parties, but also to give those parties the opportunity to be identified, to have their identity, to have their respect. As much as we work in a coalition, they also have to stand out and have their identity. And that is why we are going as a coalition of parties. And the deadline for lodging our document is actually on the 9th of May. So I hope that clarity will now help our supporters. As the Speaker put it, there are some fellows who will require Ino or Andrews across the political divide, because what we have seen from our competitors is that they're trying to force an engagement that does not allow for the recognition of the individual political parties. And us in Kenya, we are saying there's room for that recognition. So with that, I now say, Ndugu, well done. You've spoken for millions of Kenyans, and we are happy to hold hands and journey together on this Kenya Kwanza ship, which is for all the individual Kenyans in our country. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Okay, let me request my good brother, Moses Masika Wetangula, the party leader of Ford Kenya, and he reminds me often that they were in the same college with Justin Muturi.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Fellow Kenyans, my dear brother, Speaker Justin Muturi, my distinguished classmate at the University of Nairobi and the Law School, Your Excellency, Deputy President, my brother Musalia, my good neighbor, Jirani Mwema, Joseph Konzolo,
the leadership of DP, and our colleagues in Kenya Kwanza. Today is a very, very important day because this event culminates in the absolute deconstruction of a mirage called the deep state and the continuation of the reconstruction of an equitable Kenya. We come here to receive and be joined by a party that has a very admirable chapter in the political history of this country. 20 years ago, DP, or Democratic Party, and Ford Kenya came together. They ended up forming government. When Michael Wamalwa Kijana and Mwai Kibaki spearheaded the change that swept Kenya in 2002. It is therefore not strange that 2 decades later, our 2 parties are now joined with our brothers in UDA and ANC and many others to again lead the country into a change that makes sense to our people. This country, ladies and gentlemen, has a resilience like no other. Every time those who have been given the privilege of navigating our ship become rogue, Kenyans take control of the ship and steady it back to the deep waters. And we are doing exactly that. When you walk around this country, you hear, you feel what Kenyans think and what they say. Of course, there are those who fall in the category of a character called Maimuna in a book called God's Bits of Wood. She was blind, and she said she has never quite understood how people with eyes don't see. And she herself was blind. And we have people in this country with eyes, and they don't see. There's a storm coming, and they're just seated there watching and thinking it will obey them and move back. So today, my brother Justin and your team, you have made Kenyans proud. And we stand here and dare say that the movement from the third arm of government, the legislature, to the people of Kenya is now complete. Speaker Kenneth Makelo Lusaka is in Kenya Kwanza. Speaker Justin Bedan Njoka Muturi is with Kenya Kwanza. Now the other arm that is left is a mirage called the deep state. Sometimes it's called the system. But people know that on 9th of August, there's going to be a hurricane through Kenya. Those with eyes, let them see. Those with ears, let them hear. And we in Kenya Kwanza want to assure the people of Kenya that we want a Kenya that is equitable, a Kenya that is fair and just to all our citizens. That's what we are looking for. And in so doing, as I finish, I want to remind the organization called NCIC, led by what I thought was a respected reverend, that you should, with your team, read Articles 92, 93, and 94 of the Constitution, and they will clearly tell you that you have taken a trajectory that will embarrass you. Because you have no power, you have no right in law or in fact to make law. Laws are only made in houses of parliament. You must also read Section 25 of the Act that set you up, that defines what your role is. It does not include telling Kenyans which vocabularies to use. It doesn't. And when Kenyans say Linda Kura, it is real. When Kenyans say Hatupangwingwi, how does that threaten our cohesion? When Kenyans say watajua hawajui, how does that threaten our cohesion? So Reverend Kobia and your team, you are now falling into the trap of Kenyan public servants who think that at every time they must appear to be doing something, however ridiculous. Don't ridicule yourselves, and for avoidance of doubt, in our next rally we are going to say Hatupangwingwi, we are going to say Linda Kura, and we are going to say watajua hawajui. And I can tell you, Kenyans, that the growth of language can never be inhibited by any single individual.